Hi everyone, welcome back. I've got a review video for you today on the stylpro makeup brush cleaner and dryer by the inventor Tom. So Tom Pelleru, there's a picture of him on the back there. Makeup brushes and makeup not included. So this was £50 including postage, and I bought it by clicking on a link in one of Shonagh Scott's videos. I'll try and link the video in the description bar for you. It comes with instructions. The instructions say that, to be honest, the instructions are not very clear at all. I was just reading the instructions, I wouldn't know what to do, but thankfully Shonagh explained in her video how to use it, so I was going off that. So yeah, it comes with a little glass fishbowl, and it comes with batteries, and this is sort of like a splash guard. It's a piece of rubber that you attach yourself onto a piece of plastic, and then it just sits in there like that. This is a little stand for all the rubber attachments, and you basically get your brushes and fit your makeup brushes into whichever rubber holder is the right size. It has to be quite a snug fit, so if you turn it upside down it's not going to fall out. One of my rubber pieces, they all come like this. I'll just show you the bottom, with a little square cut out. You can see through that, can't you? And that is the bit that fits onto the cleaner device, so your brush goes into that size there where the hole is. The one where it fits my buffing brush, my foundation buffing brush by Real Techniques, and quite a lot of my brushes, was this particular size here, and the cutout had not been cut out, it was completely sealed. So as you can see, that's got a little square around it, and basically the rubber was quite thin there, and I had to pop that open by forcing it onto the device, because of the fact that they'd forgotten to cut the hole in that particular size one that was just sealed, so making it effectively useless. Rather than sending it back, I could see it was quite thin, and I just popped it on and popped that through. But basically everywhere where you can see that little border there should have been cut out just like the others were. So I don't know what that was all about. Anywho, that aside, I found when it worked, it was not as powerful as it needed to be for the job. So it reminds me of one of those kind of fans that you'd get from Skeggy Market, or like a seaside sort of £1 fan that you put your batteries in and it spins and blows your face. Maybe it is more powerful than that, I don't know, but when you put your batteries in this that it comes with, that's the on and off button, and then once you've got your makeup brush in, I'm not very good at this, am I? Not good at this YouTube thing. Once you've got your makeup brush in the holder of your choice, so let's say this one for example, you put the end into this little device here, stick that into the end there, and your makeup brush is sticking out of there, and you turn it on, and you put water and makeup brush cleaner in here, and you stick it in, and it cleans the brush. And the whole thing I loved about the concept is when you pull it out of the water, it carries on spinning and effectively dries the brush as well. It's not true that it dries it well enough that you can use it straight away. That's not true at all, unless the batteries that it came with, and then the batteries I replaced the batteries that it came with, just weren't powerful enough. I don't know, but it does dry it enough so that it will be dry in a few hours, let's say, but it doesn't dry it bone dry straight away to use it straight away. So it still means that you're not having to wait overnight or the following day or whatever, but so it helps, but it's not true that it dries it instantly, which is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, well, I'm sure you will if you feel that way, but I feel that Shonagh implied that you could use it straight away, and it's not the case at all. The brushes are still damp. On my synthetic hair brushes it worked really well, like Real Techniques. On my natural hair brushes, it completely distorted the shape of them, and I found that I had to work really hard to get them back into shape. And not only that, but I tend to condition my natural hair brushes as well, so obviously then you can't do it. You're washing it to condition it, and then, well, I suppose you could do it, but then you're doing it twice. It was more time consuming for me than when I just washed them by hand. You do have to work quite hard to get it to clean the brushes, especially non-eye brushes like face brushes. You have to work quite hard to get it to clean it, to do it quite a few times and change the water a few times, and I suppose somebody could argue that if I bought the makeup brush cleanser that comes with it, I wouldn't have that problem, but I'm using the same cleanser I've never had a problem with before, the same soap I prefer to use. I just find that it's not, if it was more powerful it might damage the brushes more, but it would need to be a bit more powerful in order for, in my eyes, for it to make the cleaning more convenient and quicker than doing it by hand. The sad thing of it all is, although if it still worked, to be honest, I wouldn't be happy for it for £50. I wouldn't pay £50 for this item, and I'd suspect that I would find that I didn't really use it very much. Although that's the case, unfortunately for me, I don't have the option to keep trying because it's broken. So it doesn't work anymore. It's not been dropped, it's not been mishandled. It worked perfectly fine when it arrived. I was using it, I'd got through half of my brushes. It wasn't overheating, it wasn't hot, it didn't say anywhere on the instructions where it needed to cool down or you couldn't use it for more than a certain length of time, because for example I have a coffee grinder and that says just grind for 30 seconds and then stop. This had no warnings like that at all on it, and it just stopped working. So I thought the batteries had run out. I changed the batteries, and no, it's not the batteries, the light. It has a little light that comes out of here, and when you turn it on the light was still working, but the brushes weren't spinning. So it's effectively broken itself and is completely useless to me right now. I'm going to have to put in an application with PayPal to get my money back. I'm worried the inventor's going to want to send me, or the company rather, is going to want to send me a replacement one of these, which is the thing that's broke. I hope not, because as I say, I just don't think it's worth £50. I'd rather return it. And my concern is, although it has a 2-year warranty on it, I'm worried this would just break again. It's just certainly not convenient for bulk cleaning your brushes. It's, you know, for spot clean, for one-off cleaning, then yes, but then, you know, would you want to pay £50 to clean the odd makeup brush here and there that you have to wait then a little while before you can then use it? It's not like Shonagh said, we can use it, wash it and then just use it, like, oh, emergency when you've not washed your brushes. It's not like that, because they're not bone dry, they're not completely dry. You wouldn't be able to use a fluffy blending brush after washing it in here unless you'd waited for it to completely dry, if you see what I mean. It'd be fine if it was like a flat shader, I suppose, and you were packing on colour, but anywho. Yeah, I'm really disappointed that it stopped working. I can't understand what its problem is. I've emailed the seller, because I got an email from the seller after I purchased it saying, basically email me if there are any problems. So I emailed him, I've told him the problem, I've tweeted him as well, and I've had no response. That was Friday night. It's now Wednesday afternoon and I've had no response, so that's really disappointing. Like I say, I'm going to have to contact PayPal and see what they can do for me about my money. But yeah, a bit of a dud. I personally, in my opinion, I wouldn't recommend this product, and I'm hoping to get it sorted. So I hope that was helpful for you guys and you find it useful, and let me know in the comments if you've tried it or what you think of it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! I just wanted to pop on and film a last little clip to say that since I filmed this earlier in the day, it's now about 5 o'clock in the evening and on the same Wednesday, and I've received a reply from the customer service, a lady called Ellie, who's really polite and apologetic, explaining they were going to send me a replacement, and they were really surprised to hear that it had stopped working, and because a lot of time and effort had gone into the making of the product, and they're going to include a free post envelope for me to send the damaged item back, and hopefully that'll help them if they want to like do an autopsy on it or whatever they do on it to see why it stopped working. So I'm pleased with that. I still stand by my original comments and I don't feel the product's worth £50. I feel that I would have been happier if I'd paid somewhere like £25–30, but I feel like it's a lot of money for what it is. Especially because although it's making cleaning possibly more convenient if you don't like your hands getting too wet, and it is cutting down drying time, which is helpful, it is not making it less of a task. It's not cutting down on the time it takes, let's say, and it's certainly not making the brushes cleaner. If anything, you have to work to get them equally as clean as if you're doing them by hand. So that's everything I wanted to add on the end, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!